for students, some misconceptions are that picking business studies is like entering a dragon's den for 2 years and doing kind of more enterprise project work, and it's not necessarily the case. It's more theory-based, where you're learning a vast array of topics. And the misconceptions, I think, of business today is that there may be misconceptions that starting a business is actually quite easy, or if someone's done it, they can replicate that. It not necessarily is. When students start to learn the content, they understand that this is not a subject whereby picking business studies means that one day you're looking to start your own and become an entrepreneur. It's about those transferable skills that they learn throughout the course. Our students are well versed in understanding now, moving from GCSE to A level, the impact of the economy and the impact of all these external factors that play a role into their understanding and how it can actually affect them.
One of the biggest misconceptions we find in our school is that business is too hard, too difficult. I can't access it. Now, one thing we is key to sort of make them aware of is the fact that it's a 9-to-1 subject. So in actual fact, it's accessible to all, and students of all abilities can take it and achieve. A lot of our students think that business is just, it's going to be too expensive, it's going to be something that they can't afford to get into a career in business, they can't afford to go down that route, so they don't even look at it as an option. And I think that is a concern, because obviously nowadays, with what's gone on in recent times, there are different ways you can access businesses. You can develop a business from nothing, and students shouldn't feel that their background really stops them, or should stop them or hinder them and hold them back from running a successful business or setting up a business that thrives and becomes successful. Because most of the entrepreneurs we talk about come from very humble beginnings, and it's important that the students recognise that, but they aren't aware. They just see a famous person with lots of money but don't realise where they have come from.
I think the students view business as like a creative subject, and I think that is great. And we have students, like I said, who've never studied GCSE business before, and we've had many and many that have done extremely well, very well, achieving top grades. And what they love is that, even though compared to some subjects that, you know, the science, the maths, very core, but in ours there's that element of freedom, I feel, because our students bring a lot to the lesson, and I think that's what's fantastic. And I think they have the freedom to bring that in. They have seen something on social media the day before, or they have seen an advert, or they have seen a brand release something new, or they have followed a particular celebrity that's being sponsored, and it's all relative to the lesson. Maybe I would suggest that encouraging enterprise quite early on within year groups. I think maybe encouraging enterprise education even at year 9 can stimulate that interest into year 10, and that's encouraging, you know, students from all abilities as well, because enterprise can lend itself to all abilities. It's all about being creative, and also encouraging diverse range of students. Sometimes we have had previously in the past whereby business studies have been heavily taken up by males, and we're seeing more of a balance, absolutely, and that's through the encouragement of what examples of businesses we introduce into the subject as well. And we're finding a balance definitely moving through in terms of the cohorts that we're having. We don't have sets in our subjects, we never had. We also have a mixability class for businesses, both at GCSE and A level, and they have successfully always done well, and that's because through actually encouraging, you know, different strands of development at different levels, allows every student to access the same content in the lesson and still answer the same exam question, but maybe not weighted the same, but they're still able to answer the question itself, which I think is great.
To encourage students to have a more diverse background, you've got to make the subject engaging and make students realise it's for everyone. It's not just for one group of students. It should be engaging for all. It should be accessible to all, and should be all-inclusive in relation to what we do. One way you can do that is by making sure that the case studies, for example, cover a diverse range of entrepreneurs, a diverse range of businesses, local, national, regional businesses as well. Students don't get hung up on like the wider market, the brands, the multinationals, but actually drawing them into what's going on in their local communities is really, really important.